Right, good morning. So today I've got extra lights on. It's obviously weird in this area at the moment because the, uh, the the smoke. There's a lot of smoke in the air, and it's reduced the temperatures and it's reduced the light. So we're having to put indoor lights on a lot during the day. And I guess the forecast was for quite high temperatures, but it's the smoke has also brought the temperatures down, so it's weird. So today, let's dedicate this to the firefighters and the people that are struggling with the fires. So it's not only California; it's the whole West Coast, so it's and other states. So things, it's pretty bad. So the smoke also gets into houses. You can't avoid that. So maybe we'll avoid too deep breathing practices. But I thought we'd start off with alternate nostril breathing, which is not super deep, but it's also calming, and it's something we probably could all do with. And then we'll work on back bends a little bit, and we'll lead up to Camel Pose, Ustrasana, which I think is, at least camel preps are accessible to most of us, and probably you can do the full camel. I've also got a couple of blocks here. These blocks here, they're actually made of cork. They're really solid, they're very heavy. And sometimes they're useful if you don't want to go quite so deep into the back bend when you're doing camel. So let's start off just seated, legs crossed, sitting tall. Close the eyes and just observe the body, trying to get the back neutral. And just sort of note if you're holding tension anywhere. Sometimes we hold tension, we don't realize it. So I tend to hold it in the shoulders, so I focus on the shoulders a lot and just relax there. And then quite often you'll find that your head is jutting forward slightly. So just keeping the chin parallel to the ground, just bring the head back a little, trying to get the neck nicely lined up. And then focus on the shoulders again, just soften the shoulders, broaden across the collarbone. And let's take 3 or 4 rounds of regular breathing in and out through the nose. So alternate nostril breathing, as I say, it's a calming breath. Some people say it helps with insomnia, so you could try that and maybe do it later on in the day if you have a problem sleeping. So usually we take the right hand. I'm not sure why it's the right hand, but we'll take your right hand and we're going to use the thumb. Most of you know this, and we use typically the thumb and the ring finger either side of the nose. And we'll just gently close the right nostril, trying not to bend the nose. So you're closing the right nostril, you inhale through the left side. You close the left nostril with the ring finger, exhale right side. Inhale right. Close right nostril, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. So just keep going at your pace, and the way I remember it is I switch from one side to the other side at the top of an inhale. So just keep going. So alternate nostril breathing, what we're trying to do, we're trying to bring balance to the breath, because sometimes you can breathe more easily through one nostril than the other nostril. So we're trying to balance things up. And as you balance it up, you're balancing the right side of the nostril to the left side of the brain. Left side to the right side of the brain. They said there's a connection there. So as we even the breathing, we're trying to even the logical and the creative sides of the brain, and it's good to get that nice balance. You don't want to be extreme either side. A couple more rounds. After the next exhale, just bring both hands down to the ground, and we're just going to work on the shoulders a little bit. So I'm keeping my hands on the knees, and I'm just rotating one shoulder, and then I'm going to rotate the other shoulder, and then both together, up and down, whatever feels good. You know, I like to do this. Just trying to loosen up a little bit. Then we'll bring the right arm up. It's parallel to the ground. It's extended forward, but we're bringing the shoulder back, and we're going to pull that arm in closer. And you want to pull above the elbow, just finding an easy stretch. Inhale, getting tall. Exhale, we pull that arm in a little bit closer. Just to take 3 or 4 breaths here. And we switch, bringing the other arm up parallel to the ground, extended forward, shoulder back. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, pulling that arm in. Easy stretch. Inhale, taller. Exhale, pulling the arm in a little bit closer. Keep using that breath. And release. Interlace the fingers behind you. So I'm pulling the shoulders down, shoulder blades in, and I'm going to start hinging forward at the hips, looking up. I go as far as I can, and then I bring the head, tuck the chin in, looking towards the legs, and I'm bringing the arms a little bit higher. Go easy. No discomfort in the shoulders. Take your time. And then we come back up, and let's add a side stretch, taking the left hand over to the side, lining it up with the hips. Inhale, the right arm up, we're reaching, and then we take that side stretch. Over to the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to the other side. And then come back up. So one of my bad habits is keeping too much paperwork. So I was trying to sort some of my paperwork out, and I was looking at some of my old yoga notes, and it said in yoga you ascend to descend, and you descend to ascend. And what it means by that is when you're doing a forward bend, like when we're doing this, we inhale, we're ascending, trying to get length, and then you descend. Inhale, coming back up. And it's the same with this side stretch. We're ascending, trying to get length before we descend. Inhale, ascend, and then descend. It's the same when you roll up. If you're doing a forward bend, you'll start to go down a little bit before you're coming back up. So you descend before you ascend. So anyway, that's just one of my old notes there. Let's come onto our hands and knees. So cat-cow a few times. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale as you round the back and tuck the chin. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling cow. Exhaling cat. If the back is feeling okay with this, you try go a little deeper each time, rounding as much as you can. You're going pretty slow, try not to hurry. We're trying to move with the breath. And then we're going to hold cat. So we're just rounding the back. Maybe bring the hands in a little closer, trying to get them directly under the shoulders. Head is totally relaxed, you're looking at the belly button. We're pulling the belly button in, trying to get more rounded. Keep the back happy. Inhale into cow. And then back to neutral. So what we're going to do here is we're going to stay on our hands and knees. We're with a neutral back, and we're just going to drop the shoulders between, we're trying to drop between the shoulder blades, and we're just coming back up again. Dropping between the shoulder blades, and then back up. I don't normally tell you guys to do this. I usually say always keep that area lifted. But we're just trying to loosen up a little bit there. You can also do this when you're in the plank pose, regular plank or a forearm plank. And then back to neutral. Now let's do thread the needle. Get a little bit of a twist, and this stretches out the lower back a little bit. So let's take the right arm behind the left arm. You're resting on the right arm on the right side of the face, and you're pushing that left hand into the ground, elbow up towards the ceiling. The more you reach with that bottom arm, the more you're trying to reach away, and the more you push that left hand into the ground, the more you're going to feel that stretch. So just find a stretch that it feels good for you. I always feel this, it feels good. And then we go on to the other side, threading the left arm behind the right arm. Reaching with that left arm, pushing the right hand into the ground. Take a few breaths here. And then we come out. And what we're going to do next, we're going to come onto our backs and we'll do bridge. We'll go up and down into bridge. And this is going to sort of just, this helps to strengthen the core. And it's just going to keep those back, get that back warmed up a little bit. Get us ready for back bends. So you're on your back, feet are in, legs are parallel. We're just going to go up on the inhale and down on the exhale. Whenever you're ready. Inhale coming up. Exhale coming down. Inhale coming up, and when you're coming up, you're using the glutes, you're using the quads. Exhale coming down, you're still engaging the core as you come down, and then you can relax. Inhale coming up. Exhale come down. So just hold it with the back on the ground for a minute. Another thing, what I do is when I come up, just before I'm coming up, I'll inhale and I'll push the lower back into the ground before I come back up. So next, so come with a neutral back, little gap underneath the lower back. And as you inhale, you're pushing the lower back into the ground and you're lifting those hips up. And exhale, we're coming down. And the lower back comes off the ground. Inhale, we engage, lower back down, and then hips up. Exhale, coming down. Just do 3 or 4 more times at your pace. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Next time you come up, hold bridge. Keep the gaze towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers underneath. Walk the arms, shoulders in nice and close. Push the arms, the hands into the ground. Push the head into the ground. Feet glued to the ground. You're opening the chest. If you feel any discomfort in the lower back, lower the hips slightly, engage that core. Don't let the knees splay out. You're trying to keep those legs nice and parallel. You breathing. And then we come slowly down. We release the arms. We bring down the upper back, mid back, lower back. You pull the knees in nice and close. You take hold of the back of the legs. You roll up. Come back onto the hands and knees. Tuck the toes. Come into downward facing dog. Hands pushed into the ground. Feet are parallel. We'll get the feet a little bit closer. So there's a couple of inches between the big toes. We walk the dog. Just straightening one leg as you bend the other knee. Just stretching the calf muscles out. So there's lots of back bending preps. So bridge is one of them. Cobra is another one. We bring the knees down. Chin chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Opening that chest. So my hips are down, my elbows are bent. I'm trying to pull the mat towards me. I'm pulling the chest forward, trying to open the chest. Tuck the toes, exhale back into down dog. Feet close again. Bring the left leg up. Either leg. Bring either leg up. Stack the hips, open the hips. Bit of a hip opener. And then we switch legs. Other leg comes up. We stack the hips. We open those hips. Top foot joins the bottom foot. Knees down, chin chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti, mountain pose. Let's do a few half salutes. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, we fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again, head relaxed. Inhale, breath core brings us up. Exhale, Samastiti, or mountain pose. Inhale, reach up, ascend. Exhale, descend. Inhale, halfway up, we're ascending again. Exhale, we descend. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, arms up. This time keep the fingers interlaced. So my fingers are interlaced, my index finger is towards the ceiling. And then we take another side stretch. I'm keeping my feet close together. You can take the feet apart if you want. You want to imagine you're in between two panes of glass and you're looking up towards the ceiling. Getting a good stretch, side ribs, side hip. Breathe. Maybe going down a little bit more on the exhale. Inhale up, reach up. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, come back up. Bring the hands behind the back, so we're just supporting the back. And we're trying to get length in the lower back. Sometimes when we take back bends, we take it in the lower back. We want to avoid that. We want to stretch out the upper front of the body. So it's good to support the back sometimes. And you're just starting to lean back. Quads are working, and you can gently let the head go back if you want. Breathe. When you come back up, head is the last thing to come up. You're inhaling up, and then the head comes back up. Remember, whenever the head goes back, take it easy. Don't jerk the head back, don't just let it flop back, so just control it. Don't take it back if you have any neck issues. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, what we're going to do is we're going to come into, let me just change position. So you should all be folded forward, and then we're just going to walk the hands forward, and we're going to come into a plank pose. And this time we're going to go, instead of cobra, we're going to see if we can get into upward facing dog from chaturanga. So you're bringing the whole body forward, elbows at 90 if you can, and then you come into upward facing dog. Up dog, hips are off the ground, arms are straight, you're breathing, and we're going back into down dog. We bring the right leg up to the ceiling, extended down dog, and from here we're going to go into a low lunge, bringing that right foot forward, back knee down to the ground. We hold this for a breath or two. And then we're just going to switch legs. You bring hands either side of the front foot. I'm actually on the fingertips. Right leg back, left leg forward, back knee comes down. And we take a low lunge on the other side. Hands either side of the front foot, back foot joins the front foot. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bend. Let's come back into chair, and then we come all the way up. So what we'll do is we'll do a few salutations. We'll do some lunge salutations. So we'll come to the front of the mat. We'll get into chair, so knees are bent. You can see the toes. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands down. I'm bringing my fingertips down. We take the right leg, knee down. Inhaling as the arms come up. We're in a low lunge again, but this time the arms are raised. Take a breath or two. On your next exhale, we come into plank. Go into chaturanga. We're inhaling into up dog. We exhale, down dog. We hold down dog for a breath or two. On your next exhale, we bring that right foot forward, back knee down, and then inhale as the arms come up. We hold this for a breath or two. On the next exhale, back foot joins the front foot. We inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, and then we inhale into chair, exhale Samastiti. Inhale chair, exhale fold forward and down. Inhale halfway up, exhale hands to the ground, left leg back, knee down. Inhale as the arms come up. Take a breath or two. On your next exhale, we come into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Down dog a breath or two. Next exhale. Left foot between the hands. Inhale as the arms come up. Breath or two. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. We inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into chair. Exhale, Samastiti. So I don't want to go too fast. The problem if we go too fast, we're going to do deeper breathing, which is good to do in yoga, but you know, with all this smoke, maybe it's not so good. But we'll do a similar flow, but this time, if you want, you can bring the back knee off the ground, get a little bit more challenge. Inhale, chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we bring the hands down to the ground. We'll take the right leg back. This time, knee is off the ground, optional. and we bring the arms up. This is a high lunge. We're breathing. You're going to feel that the stretch at the front of that back extended leg. And on the next exhale, we come into plank, chaturanga, inhaling into up dog, exhale down dog, hold down dog, couple of breaths. And on your next exhale, right foot forward, inhaling the arms up, lunge on the other side. And then the back foot joins the front foot. We come halfway up, we fold forward, bend the knees, inhale into chair, exhale Samasthiti. Inhale chair, exhale folding forward, inhale halfway up, exhale hands to the ground, left leg back, knee high, inhale high lunge, breath or two. Exhale plank, chaturanga, inhaling into up dog, exhale downward facing dog, breath or two here, pushing the hands into the ground, armpits towards the ground, chin is tucked, you're looking towards the belly button, you're trying to keep the back neutral. If you can keep all that happening, then you can start bringing the heels down. Exhale, left foot between the hands, high lunge, inhaling as you come up. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. We inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent, inhale back into chair, exhale Samasthiti. Okay, we're warming up a little bit. So the idea is with the lunges, we're opening up the front of the legs, the cobra, the up dog, giving us that back bend, getting ready for a deeper back bend. Come back to the front of the mat. Inhale chair. Exhale folding forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale both hands to the ground, right leg back. Low lunge again. Now this time we're going to work on the back of the leg. So we're going to bring the hands either side of the front foot. We walk that foot forward a few inches. And on an exhale, we're just going to stretch the hamstrings out, go easy on this one. We're walking the hands a little bit closer. Toes, kneecap up towards the ceiling. If you need to bend that knee of that left leg, go ahead. But eventually you want to try and get it straight, you want to try and engage the quads. And then lizard, we come back into the lunge and you're bringing your forearms to the ground, or if you have a block you can bring the forearms onto a block, or you can just stay on the hands like this if this is enough. So you don't have to go all the way down. So we're just getting a little bit more of a hip stretch. And then we come back up and we're going to switch plank, chaturanga, up dog, opening that chest, down dog, and we bring the right foot between the hands, back knee down, with a low lunge, and we can bring the arms up if we want. And we bring the hands down and we walk that foot forward. I always like to walk that foot forward a little bit, so I'm walking the right foot forward an inch or two. And then on the exhale, just extending that leg. Right foot is flex, dorsiflexion. You're activating the foot. You're trying to keep the leg straight. You're trying to engage the quads. And then let's transition into lizard, bringing the forearms down to the ground. Or you can have the forearms on the block, or you can be on the hands. Yoga's knowing about what you can do. Okay, sit on the heels. And this is an easy back bend, I think. We're sitting on the heels. We're going to bring the hands behind us. So the fingers are pointing to the front of the mat. The fingers are sort of lined up with the toes a little bit. And what I like to do here first is just really open the chest. Elbows are slightly bent. I keep my elbows slightly bent. Then I let the head go back carefully. You can hold it here. If you want, you can bring the hips up and you're breathing. And we slowly bring the sit bones down and we come back up sitting on the heels. So in back bends, we're trying to open the upper front body, and you need open quads. I'll tell you what. Let's go into pigeon. This is actually quite good to get ready for back bends as well. Raised pigeon in particular. So let's come back on our hands and knees. Let's do downward facing dog. And then we're going to bring the right leg up to the ceiling, extended down dog. And we'll come into pigeon. And if this bothers the knee, you could do a reclined pigeon. The problem with a reclined pigeon, you can't get into the back bend. So if you're in a regular pigeon, I'm tucking the toes of the back foot. I'm going to walk that foot back a little bit. And I'm going to stay in raised pigeon. If you were against a wall, you could push into the wall, you can imagine, and you can get a little bit more of a back bend. But this is a nice prep for back bends. It's opening the chest, and I can feel the front of that back leg opening. It's opening that hip, that quads there. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Down dog. And we bring the left leg up, extended down dog. And we bring that knee forward. Now usually I take the knee close to the edge of the mat. But you can reposition it more centered if you need to. Sometimes if you get too much groin stretch if it's to the outside, but so just find the spot for you. The next thing, I'm tucking the toes of the back foot, I'm trying to walk that leg back, and then I'm going to hold raised pigeon, opening that chest. And then down dog. After pigeon, walking the dog feels good. Just pedaling the legs. And then the knees come down. And rest in child's pose. And then come up, sit on the heels. So let's work our way into camel, Ustrasana. We'll do a camel prep. So to begin with, we're high up on the knees like this. And in camel, you want to try and keep the hips directly over the knees. You don't want the hips to go back. So we're trying to keep the hips stacked over the knees. And we're going to, first of all, we're just going to support the back like we did standing. We try and get length. We're ascending to get length. And then we carefully leaning back. I'm engaging the glutes a little bit. I'm leaning back, my head goes carefully back, and I'm breathing. I can feel the stretch at the front of the legs. My back is good, my chest is opening. You breathing. And then we slowly come up, and then we bring the head up. And usually after camel, you come into child's pose. come back up, sit on the heels. If you have any concerns with your lower back, please be careful with this. Just go into a gentle back bend if you feel any discomfort in the back. You know, take care of yourselves. You can always come out of the pose if it starts to bother the back. But the idea is, if your back is in good shape, it should be strengthening the glutes, it should be strengthening the lower back muscles, and we're opening this front body. And a lot of us, because we do too much computer work, we sit down too much, we start to sort of we start to get round shoulders like this, so the back bend, we're trying to open that area up. And also, as you get older, you tend to shrivel. But we're not gonna, that's not going to happen to us, right? No shriveling. Okay, now the full back bend. In the full back bend, full camel, I tuck the toes so my heels are high. If you're really flexible, you can have the top of the feet on the mat, but I like to tuck my toes. And I'm going to bring my hands to the heels. I'll take one hand there at a time. And let me just, if you've never done the camel, let me just demo. So we'll inhale, one arm up, we'll bring it to one heel. Bring the other arm up, bringing it to the other heel. To begin with, my chin is tucked. Now once I'm here, I start shifting the hips forward. I'm still trying to stack the hips over the knees. I'm opening the chest, and then my head will slowly go back. Now typically you would hold this for a few breaths, but since I'm demoing, I'm going to come out of it. When you come out, you bring one arm up, you bring the other arm up. As you bring the second arm up, the head comes up, and then you rest in child's pose. So a couple of things. If you've got your hands on the legs and your hips are way back, this isn't really camel because you want those hips forward. If you can't reach the heels, just do what we did before. Just support the back like we did before. Another thing you could do, which is why I've got these blocks. If you can't reach the heels, you could have blocks there. Let me see how this works. I haven't done it with blocks for a while, so let me see how it works. You could bring one arm up, reach to one block, other arm up, reach to the other block, and then you can open up like this. I'm trying to think which is the best position for the blocks. Where you could use the blocks. Actually, if you're using the blocks does help. It stops you going down so low. Usually, if I was in a class, I would put the blocks against a wall and then have the hands on the blocks. But this works too, and you can have the blocks a little bit lower as well. Makes them a little bit more stable. So whenever you're ready, you're high up on the knees, toes tucked. You've got blocks maybe. You bring one arm up, bringing it to one heel. You bring the other arm up, bringing it to the other heel. Or you can have the hands on blocks. You're opening the chest, you're letting the head go back slowly, you're engaging the glutes, you're breathing. Just hold as long as feels good. I'm feeling this. My back feels good, no discomfort in my back. The stretch, I feel it mainly is the front of the hips and the quads. And come out whenever you're ready. When you come out, if you remember, one arm comes up, head comes up as you bring the second arm up, and then we come back down into child's pose. And we just hang out in child's pose for a few breaths. And then we come back up. Okay, bye-bye blocks. So the ultimate back bend is wheel pose. We've done wheel in a few classes. We won't do that today. I'm trying to take it a little bit easier today. So what is good after back bends are twists. I'm just going to bring my mat a little bit closer again. So I think what we'll do, we'll come onto our backs and just pull your knees in and just rock from side to side. We'll do a recline twist and then we'll do a seated twist. So extend the right leg on the ground. The left knee is pulled in nice and close. And then we're going to take hold of that left knee with the right hand and bring it over to the right side. At the same time you're extending that left arm, palm up, both shoulders on the ground. You're pulling that left shoulder away from the head, trying to tuck that shoulder blade in. You're breathing. Take about 3 or 4 breaths. After wheel in particular, I usually always do a twist. We come out of the twist, we pull both knees in and we rock from side to side, and then we're going to do the twist in the other direction. So we extend the left leg, right knee is pulled in, and then we take that right knee over to the left as you extend in the right arm, looking over the right shoulder. Try and keep both shoulders grounded. Breathe. And then we unwind. Knees come in. So while we're here, we might as well do happy baby. So hold on to the feet. Feet are pretty wide apart. If you want, you can hold on to the big toes, or you can hold on to the inside or the outside of the feet. Actually, I usually start holding on to the outside of the feet. And then, as I straighten the legs, I grab hold of the big toes. So my first 2 fingers thumb around the big toe, and I'm going to see if I can get the legs a little straighter and pretty wide into a wide V. You want to try and keep the tailbone nice and low, shoulders away from the ears, tailbone down to the ground. And this is a lot of people struggle with this one, so just do what you can, bend the knees if you need to, but eventually you want to be able to straighten the legs, so eventually. Not today, not next week. Might take a while. And then we hold on to the back of the legs and we're going to come into Navasana, boat, where we're bouncing on the sit bones. Lots of options here. You can just hold on to the legs, which I suggest if you've got any back issues. If your back is good, arms either side, and then you can raise the legs coming into that V. And this is not an easy one. We're opening the chest, but we do this a lot. You guys should have strong core. And then we're going to lower, not all the way. I know you guys hate this, but this is good for you. So it's like a scoopy action. You're supporting the head with the hands. The head is off the ground, the legs are off the ground, lower back is pushed into the ground a lot. Abs of steel for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we come all the way down slowly, and we totally relax. We inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. and then we walk the feet in, and we're going to roll ourselves up into a seated position. I don't know if you remember last week I had to move my mats so that the sun wasn't shining in my face, but this time I've got lights on to keep it brighter, so ridiculous. Konasana. If you have tight hips, your hips are not open, sit on a block. Hopefully you guys have got blocks. I start off in the Konasana, my feet are together. I like to rock from side to side a few times, and as I'm rocking, my feet are getting in a little bit closer. Then I'll become still, or more still. I'm using quite a lot of arm strength, pulling the hips forward, trying to get the back neutral. Then I'm just letting those hips open. I'm trying to encourage the knees down to the ground. Quite a lot of arm strength. The outer edges of the feet are connected. The inside of the feet opening a little bit like the pages of a book. And I'm trying to encourage those knees down to the ground. Try and keep that back neutral. Try and open the chest. And release. Take the right leg. So the shin of my right leg is parallel to the edge of the mat that's in front of me. I then take the other leg on top. Some people struggle with this one. Just see how it goes. So basically we're trying to stack the shins, and then we try and bring that top leg down so it's in contact with the bottom leg. If you can do this, what you could probably do next is lotus quite safely. If you can't do this, if you like that, if your back is rounded, just come into an easy pose, just cross the legs. Actually, I've got one foot, the shin isn't parallel, I pulled that one heel in, and I've just got one foot on top of the other leg. You could just hang out here in an easy pose. Other side. I tend to forget which side I did, so the other side. Was it this side? I think it's this side. I think the right leg is on top of the left leg. So this side is easier for me. So I'm just trying to stack the hips, and I'm just trying to stretch out the inside of the hips. Nice hip opener. But you know, if you like this, your back is rounded, then you just do an easy pose. Okay, so we've done a fair bit of shoulder stuff today. So let's do eagle arms. You know, I was thinking we haven't done tree pose or the full eagle for a while. I'll try and include that in the next session or two. But anyway, we can do eagle arms. So in eagle, the arms are extended to the side. The hands are also parallel to the ground, so the hands are lined up with the arms. The shoulders, you're trying to soften the shoulders, so try not to tense the shoulders up. And you can just hold it here. And if you hold it here, after a while you're going to feel those arms working. So this is work, just keeping those arms either side of you. We're going to bring the right arm under the left arm and get the hands parallel. And it can be the back of the hands or the palms. And then we make sure the back is neutral, and we can either touch the nose with the thumb or the fingers, or we can bring the arms up. Which feels better for you? That's sort of rhetorical. I know you can't answer me, unfortunately. Try both. Try touching the nose, try bringing the arms up, or you can go halfway between the two. Wherever you're at, you're going to feel the stretch across the upper back between the shoulder blades. and then we release. You should feel a good stretch. And then we just loosen up the arms again. Other side, you extending the arms to the side, and we bring the left arm under the right arm. You get the hands parallel, the back of the hands or the palms. You can touch the nose, and you're sitting taller each time. You can bring the arms up, and we just hold this for a breath or two. And we release. Just come to a nicely comfortable seated position, resting the hands on the legs. Bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Just letting the head get heavy. Inhale, the head comes back up. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale back up. One thing I should warn you guys is don't go out on the roads next Saturday because my daughter, she's 15 and a half, she's having her first driving lesson. Hopefully she can't hear me. No, but anyway, she's very excited about that. It seems so young to be allowed on the roads. I know back in the UK you had to be 17, so being out on the roads at 15 and a half seems like seems too young to me, but still. Okay, so we're looking over the right shoulder. So when you're doing twists, what happens is sometimes if you turn your eyes behind you, the head starts to follow, and it lets you go a little deeper. Inhale back to center, exhale turning the head in the other direction. And then just see if you can look behind you, see if you can get into an easy but deeper twist of the neck. Inhale back to center, exhale chin to the chest, and then this time we're going to bring the hands onto the back of the head, just encouraging the chin closer in. And then slowly come back up. So it took a while to find an instructor, because a lot of instructors, they're not doing business because of COVID. And then the ones that are doing business, they're really busy. But we found one that was recommended. Come onto your back. Take a full body stretch. So reach with the arms over the head, reach with the legs, getting length. Little bit of a side stretch, getting into that banana shape. And then stretch out the other side of the body. Banana shape in the other direction. And then we recenter. And we come into Shavasana. You're bringing the arms either side of you. Palms facing up. Eyes closed. And you're just totally relaxing. Regular breathing. Just letting yourself sink into the ground. Letting your whole body get heavy. Just check things out, working from the feet. And just make sure you're not holding tension anywhere. If you want to stay in Shavasana longer, that's fine. If you're ready to come out, walk the feet in and just roll over to one side, take a breath or two. And then slowly come up into a seated position. So we'll skip the arms today. My throat's a little bit raspy from all the smoke. So we'll just take a couple of breaths here. So just, if you're ready, come into a comfortable seated position. And then inhale as the arms come up. Keep the palms together as you bring the arms down on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the palms together. Bring the palms to the chest. Sit up nice and tall. Soften the shoulders. And then bring the hands to the forehead. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Little easier class, I thought, this time. But, you know, back bends. So the back should feel good, hopefully, after this. See you next week.